Have you ever had someone stuck in your mind no matter how hard you try to forget them? You wake up and they are the first thought in your head. You try to distract yourself, but somehow every little thing reminds you of them: a song, a place, a random text notification. It's like your brain refuses to let them go. But why does this happen? What's the real reason you can't stop thinking about someone? We often tell ourselves it's love or destiny or maybe a sign from the universe. But psychology says something else. When you can't stop thinking about a person, it's not always because they're special, it's because your mind is trying to resolve something. Sometimes it's an emotional attachment that never got closure. Sometimes it's a memory tied to deep feelings, and sometimes it's simply chemistry, your brain chasing a dopamine hit it once got from them. When you're around someone who makes you feel excited, seen, or even anxious, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical responsible for pleasure and reward. It feels amazing, but the problem is, your brain remembers that feeling. Even when the person is gone, your mind keeps replaying moments with them to recreate that same rush. It's not that you can't move on, it's that your brain is addicted to the emotions they triggered. And it's not just about love or attraction. Sometimes we think about someone constantly because of the pain they caused. Our brains naturally try to make sense of emotional wounds. So if someone hurt you, betrayed you, or left suddenly, your mind keeps going back to them, searching for answers as if replaying it enough times might help you understand why it happened. But in reality, this overthinking doesn't heal you, it traps you in the same emotional loop. There's also the Zeigarnik effect, a psychological principle that says we remember unfinished things better than completed ones. When a relationship or connection ends without closure, your brain labels it as incomplete. So it keeps bringing that person back into your thoughts, hoping to find an ending that makes sense. That's why even months or years later, one random memory can pull you right back into that emotional space. Sometimes you think about someone not because of who they are, but because of what they represent. They might remind you of a feeling: comfort, safety, excitement, or validation. They might have filled a void you didn't know you had. So when they're gone, it's not just them you miss, it's how you felt when they were around. You're chasing the version of yourself that existed when you were with them. There's another layer to your subconscious mind. Even when you consciously tell yourself to stop thinking about someone, your subconscious keeps them alive through dreams, thoughts, and small triggers. It's your inner mind's way of processing unfinished emotions. You can't fight it directly, but you can redirect it by replacing those thoughts with new experiences, new routines, and new energy. The truth is, constantly thinking about someone doesn't always mean you're meant to be with them. Sometimes it means you need to learn something from that connection. Every person we can't forget is a reflection. They show us what we crave, what we fear, and what still needs healing. So if you can't stop thinking about someone, instead of asking, "Why can't I move on?" ask, "What is my mind trying to teach me through this?" Maybe it's teaching you to love yourself again, to find peace in solitude, or to finally close the chapter that's been left open for too long. Eventually, the thoughts fade, not because you forget them, but because you grow past the version of yourself that needed them. You stop chasing closure and you start choosing peace. And that's when you realize the real reason you couldn't stop thinking about them was never really about them at all. It was always about you. If you want more psychology-based breakdowns like this about love, attachment, and the mind, make sure to subscribe, because the more you understand your mind, the less power it has to control you.